Hello, beautiful people. It's always a pleasure to have you here. My name is Sianoki, and I'm sharing with you how I make this kontomire and egg stew with vegetable oil. I'll be listing all the ingredients in my description box, so kindly check it out. So to start, I am adding my this is a frozen turkey berries, or what we call kunsusua, to boiling water. I will share a recipe on how I store this turkey berries. So this has been boiling for a while. I'll just take a couple of it and test with my hand to see if it is cooked. Now I will just prep my herring, and I will take out all the bones and wash it as well. This stew was prepped the same day that I fried my tilapia. I've already shared a recipe on that, and I don't like to use my oil over and over again in frying fish. So once I'm done frying for the very first time, I just make sure that I use it in other dishes so that it doesn't become very black, the next time we are frying it. So I just skimmed off part of the oil, and I'll be using the rest for my stew. So currently I'm grinding some pepper, ginger and garlic. You can blend this, but it is relatively too small, so I decided to grind it. So I had heated the oil, and I'm adding my smoked mackerel. The reason why I am frying this in the oil is because it's been in the freezer for a while, so I want it to be a bit fresh. And also frying it in the oil makes your fish firmer, so it doesn't break in the stew. Please be careful when you are doing this because mackerel splatters a lot in oil, so please be careful. So at this point it is nicely done, so I'm just taking it out of the oil, after which I'll throw in my onions and fry that for 2 minutes. Once that is done, I'll be adding in my tomatoes and then my grinded pepper, ginger and garlic. I mentioned in my previous kontomire video that when I'm using palm oil, I don't like garlic. That's my personal taste. But when I'm using cooking oil, I don't mind having some garlic in there. So I'll cover this and stir from time to time. You want the tomatoes to be cooked, and for you to know that your tomatoes to be cooked, it has to have the oil forming on top of it. So right now I'm just adding the stock with which I cooked the turkey berries, the water. I'm using that same water to boil my kontomire, and then I'll also be turning that from time to time. Kindly ensure that your kontomire is well cooked, else your mouth will itch. When your kontomire is cooked, the quantity will reduce drastically. So into my stew, I added my smoked herrings. I just wanted to absorb all the flavors from the tomatoes, the onions, and everything that is going on there, and for it to also release its juices to the stew. And then I'm adding in my seasoning cube. At this point, I'll give it another good stir. I will also add in my mackerel here back to the stew for it to join the fun, whatever is happening there. Yeah, for my mackerel at this point, when you add your mackerel, it's not going to break because you've already fried it. It's a bit firm. Yeah, so I'll just cover this under low heat and let it cook. Now I'll be grinding my turkey berries. You can blend this, but when I'm making stew with this vegetable, I like to grind it. And I am adding back the water from the kontomire. So this water was used to cook the turkey berries and then transferred to the kontomire. It's now back to the owner. I'm not throwing anything out. And then I'll just grind this and add to the stew. Give this a good stir, and then let everything mix together nicely. Yes, there's a lot of stirring happening right here. Yeah, so once it is all set, I'll just add in my eggs, and then I will cover this and let it cook under very low heat because I want my egg chunky at the same time. I don't want the stew to burn. So at this point, I'm just, I just giving it a little nudge here and there. I don't want the stew to burn. At this point, the egg is cooked, everything is looking well. So I'll just add in the last thing, okay, last but one, which is my kontomire, and then it has to be cooked. If this is not properly cooked, your mouth will itch. So I'll just add this and then also stir it, making sure that it is very well incorporated. At this point, I tasted for salt, it wasn't enough, so I am adding in a bit, and then the stir continues. I just covered this for about 2 to 3 minutes, just for for them to have fun, continue to have fun with every other thing that's in there. And finally, who doesn't want a crunch? Well, if you don't want crunch, it's fine, you can end at that stage, but I want some crunch in this container, so I'm adding in some onions, and then I will just let the heat do its own work. If you're watching up to this point, I totally appreciate you. You have no idea. Thank you so much for joining me. Please like this video for me. If you have not subscribed, kindly do. And thank you to everyone that has subscribed to my channel. I really do appreciate the love and support out here. God bless you so much. So you can have this with yam, like what I'm about to do, or have it with rice and plantain. This works perfectly for people who don't want palm oil, and it tastes absolutely delicious. Trust me on this. Thank you, and until I see you again, keep staying safe and stay blessed.